It's time for The Pet Show with America's favorite pet expert, Warren Eckstein. Warren is the author of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want and How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. He's here to answer all your pet and animal questions. And now, Warren Eckstein.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to The Pet Show. Is your pug acting like he's possessed? Are you being harassed by your Himalayan kitten? Does your schnoodle have you totally stumped? Well, if you love animals, care about wildlife and the environment, and want to really learn how to understand your dogs and cats almost as well as they get you, if you're confused about your pet's behavior or just want to improve their life, you know what to do. Stay tuned because once again, right here, right now, it is time for The Pet Show. America's first and only real pet psychology, pet training, behavior, and of course, pet lifestyle show. So hop up on my couch, bring those furry little buddies with you, folks, because it is that time once again to let the animal analyzing begin. Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Warren Eckstein on this non-rainy Saturday. This is The Pet Show, America's first and only real place to come if you have questions or comments about your dogs and cats. If they're jumping, if they're humping, if they're digging, if they're scratching, and your cat's not using the litter box, your dog doesn't come back when you call him, you can't take him for a walk, you want to introduce him to the neighbor's dog and they don't get along. You get the idea. That's what we've been doing on this show for 42 years. We've been taking a look at life not only from your perspective, but from your dog or cat's perspective, and at the same time, we can make the relationship you have even better. So if you have any questions or comments, want to share a great story about a rescue dog or cat that you took in, or an older dog or cat that you rescued, great time to give me a call. And by the way, if you're new to the show, regular to the show, it doesn't make any difference, because here's the deal. Everyone that calls in today and gets to talk to me live on the air will get an absolutely fabulous gift for their dog or cat. Now, people ask me, why do you give away these gifts, Warren? Most shows don't do that. Well, many of the items I give away on the air are specifically geared towards helping you resolve a specific issue that you may be calling about. So everyone that calls in gets to talk to me live will get a great gift for their dog or cat. So if you have a question, if you have a comment, want to share a great story, you want to talk about how your dogs and your cats dealt with the rain, great time to give me a call. The phone number here at The Pet Show, 866-870 KRLA. That's 866-870 KRLA. If you prefer numbers, 866-870-5752, 866-870-5750. I'm in a crazy mood today. You know why? I usually only drink decaf coffee, but today, guys, as I show you on my YouTube channel, Warren is drinking real coffee. So if the show seems a little faster today, Alex, you know exactly why. Great time to give me a call. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of super stuff to give away. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. By the way, if you want to see me do the show live, go to my YouTube channel. We're doing it live right now. If you want to see the mug, it's at youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. And by the way, if you're new to my YouTube channel, I'll share lots of amazing information there, so check it out, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. So here's the deal. Here's what I have coming up on today's show. Now remember, most of the time I never get through all the topics because your calls, your questions, your comments, your stories are always top priority here. So if you have a question or comment, 866-870-KRLA. But here's what I want to try to cover on today's show if we have time. Number one, about half of pet guardians say that they share their bed with their dogs and cats. 50% say they share their bed with their dogs and cats. But are you actually sacrificing a good night's sleep? Some people say, some medical doctors say yes. Coming up, the pros and the cons of sleeping with your dogs and cats. I don't see any cons, but I guess the professionals do. So do you sleep with your dog or cat? We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And when I was doing a lot of training, I would always encourage people to have, sit down, guys, Warren's idea, dog training parties. Now, you might be saying, Warren, what is a dog training party? Do we put out this? Do we put out cheese? What do we do at a dog training party? What is a dog training party? It can really make all the difference about your dog or cat's relationship with you and other people. when I started doing it, I'm going back into the 70s when I started doing dog parties. What a difference it made. Dogs that had no idea, even cats that had no idea how to react around other people, really learn the proper way just by having dog training parties. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. Again, the number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, the way to get through. Also coming up on today's show, I ran out of time last week, which is a pretty common problem here on the Pet Show, right? So here's the deal. Is it possible that dogs and cats suffer with separation anxiety? I know what you're saying, Warren. We've talked about separation anxiety. Well, you're right, we have. But is there such a thing as dog-on-dog separation anxiety? How about dog-on-cat separation anxiety? How about cat-on-dog separation anxiety? Is it real? Also coming up on today's show, we're going to take a look at the most popular breeds taking over social media, so we'll take a look at that as well. And I'm kind of like in a nostalgic mood today. And you guys know I spent a lot of years training dogs in all parts of the world, quite a bit of time in Germany as well. So what I'm going to do today is when I came back to the U.S. and I started my school in New York, and we're training hundreds of dogs every week, there were certain breeds of dogs that were popular. And these were the dogs that I was mostly working with. Of course, rescue dogs, but so many purebred dogs. So we're going to take a look at some of the purebred dogs that people lived with in the 80s. That coming up a little bit later. I also just posted a breed of dog on my Facebook page, and if you're not there, check it out. Facebook.com/Warren, Facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk, Facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. I posted a picture of a breed of dog you probably never heard of. It's called the Hovawart, Hovawart. Now, you may look at it. They come in a couple of different colors. One of the colors they come in is blonde. And you might look at it and say, oh, man, looks just like a golden retriever. But, looks can be deceiving. If you look at a Hovawart, it's more like a golden retriever with a personality of a German Shepherd. An amazing dog. I just posted a picture of Hovawarts on my Facebook page, Facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. Oh, where is my mouth today? It's 2 cups of coffee. That's what it is. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of pretty amazing stuff to give away. If you're new to the Pet Show, a lot of the items I give away here are worth $25, $35, $45, even $50, thanks to my amazing sponsors. So everyone that calls in and answers my question, which I'll share a little while, or just has a question or a comment about their pet, will get one of these amazing gifts for their dog or cat. So as always, plenty of time to answer your questions and comments. Lots of great stuff to give away. So if your pet is chewing, jumping, maybe they're confused about the litter box, maybe that beautiful rescue dog isn't housebroken, poor guy suffering with separation anxiety, your dog's depressed, your dog's chasing anything that moves, doesn't get along with other dogs, cat scratched your favorite chair, and your dog is humping everything in sight. We will help you resolve any issues that you may be having with your pets, and more likely, any issues that your pets may be having with you. Again, the number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through to the show. Lots of pretty amazing stuff to give away in today's show, by the way. I'll be giving away Hugs and Kisses supplements, Lucy Pet Food, Arthur Gold, copies of my best-selling books, Kitty Licky's flea spray t-shirts. So great time to give me a call, 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. That is the way to get through to the Pet Show. So the question of the day is pretty simple. How many of my listeners out there, you can answer this on my YouTube channel as well, how many people out there actually sleep with your pets? And if you do, is it a good idea or is it a bad idea? You know, it's kind of interesting because a lot of doctors out there say sleeping with your dog or your cat can interrupt your sleep. My response is sleeping with your dog or cat can interrupt their sleep. I'm more interested in that. So if you sleep with your dog or cat and you think it's a great idea, it's not a great idea, I'd love to hear from you. Give me a call, and a great gift will be on its way to you. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Or if you want to ask a question at my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. A little kind of a warning here again, guys. And I was just out just a little while ago with Molly and Willie, the amazing amazing Molly and Willie out in the backyard. And again, I noticed I'm out there, 10 times a day, and I just saw this morning still some little mushrooms growing up in my yard. So please be careful out there. If you're taking your dog on a hike, if you're just letting your dog out in your backyard, if you have an indoor cat, I prefer indoor cats over outdoor cats, but if you have an indoor-outdoor cat, check out those mushrooms as well. Please be very careful. As I said last week, one of my friends on next door, we all have next door in our neighborhoods, their puppy actually ate one of these mushrooms and got really sick and passed away. So please be really careful out there. The rain is causing a lot of these mushrooms to come up. Great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Another thing that kind of came up this week in conversations I had with people is because we've had so much rain here in Southern California. Really, we've had our share. And on the East Coast, when I do my national show, people have had a lot of snow. So I bring that up for this reason. We all think that maybe our dogs weren't getting the exercise they normally get because of the weather outside, the rain, the snow. And it's probably true. So now people overcompensate by trying to give their dog or cat more exercise than they normally get in a shorter period of time where they hadn't exercised for a while. It's a weekend warrior type thing. So please be careful. Exercise is fabulous for your dog. I wrote the book Pet Aerobics, but just make sure you do it slowly and build up a little bit at a time. 866-870-KRLA. The question of the day, should your pet sleep with you? I want to know. Lots of good stuff coming up on today's show as well. This is a subject I want to talk about. I'd love to hear from you guys also. In the 1980s, purebred dogs were more popular than they are today. Today, there's a greater focus on adoption and rescuing dogs from shelters, and that is amazing news. Many people also prefer the blended breeds or mixed breed dogs because they tend to be healthier and have fewer genetic problems than purebred dogs. It's that hyper vigor you hear me talk about all the time. So later on, I'm going to give you a list of some of the breeds I worked with. I ran the largest training school on the East Coast for many years. Some of the breeds that were popular back in the 80s that you very rarely see right now. Breeds like the Afghan, the Canaan. By the way, I trained the first Canaan, an Israeli dog that came into the United States. Actually, the John F. Kennedy Jr. and his ex had a Canaan dog as well. Australian Terriers, Old English Sheepdogs. I did a lot of work on the movie Serpico with Old English Sheepdogs, and in the 80s, Old English Sheepdogs were very, very popular. Now you don't see them too often. I saw one the other day walking around Santa Monica, but you don't see too many Old English Sheepdogs. I'll give you some more of those breeds. So I'd like to hear from you guys as well. What about a Bedlington Terrier? I used to work with a lot of Bedlington Terriers. Bearded Collies. There is an amazing breed of dog called the bearded collie also. So if you remember any breeds that you may have had in the late 70s, early 80s, give me a call. I'd love to hear from you and hear about that dog that you owned at that time. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of fabulous stuff to give away. The question of the day, should you be sleeping with your dogs and cats? Should you be sleeping with your dogs and cats? I don't know about you, but I can't sleep without my dogs and cats. But can you sleep with your dogs and cats? Although I've been known, I remember David Letterman said to me one time, where did you sleep last night, Warren? And I said, Dave, I slept with my 1,200-pound pig and a duck with one leg. And he said, now, come on, really, where did you sleep last night? That was exactly where I slept that night. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Let me take a quick break. We'll get to all your phone calls in just a little bit. And as I said, lots of pretty amazing stuff to give away. So if you have any questions or comments or just want to tell a story, brag about a dog, that's what this show is all about. Every week I open the show by saying, welcome to the Pet Show family. Because we've been doing this now for 42 years, which makes us pretty much one of the longest running radio shows in probably the entire country. So that's not because of me. That's because of you guys. You guys make the difference because your focus when I'm talking to you is on your dog or cat's behavior. And we've saved so many animals together over the years, and that's what really makes it worth it. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me take a quick break, and then we'll get to some phone calls. I love working with Peter Pan in the dog world. These are dogs that just remain puppies their whole lives. I'm sure we've all had them. Hey, great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA. When we were in the last commercial break, Alex, I hope I can say this on the air, but my wife walked into the studio and said, Warren, tell people, remember, you used to sleep around a lot. What are you talking about? She said, hand me, Warren, you used to sleep around a lot. Here's the story. Years ago, when I was doing all the animals on Regis and Kathy Lee wanted a new dog. Kathy Lee and Frank Gifford, who I adored both of them. They got me through a lot of tough times. So they wanted a dog. I went out and I found them a dog. They named the dog Regis. And then I was supposed to spend some time with Regis, a day or two, bring him to Central Park, and he was going to be thoroughly trained. Well, I slept with Regis the dog, that is, guys, okay? I slept with Regis the dog, Kathy Lee's dog, for a couple of nights, and what an amazing dog it was. So you might say, okay, so you slept with Kathy Lee's dog, Warren. What? So I slept with David Letterman's dogs. I slept with Lily Tomlin's dogs. I slept with Al Pacino's dogs. Man, I am just no good. Anyway, I got to be honest with you. I don't think I could fall asleep without a dog next to me. I just don't think I can. So, yes, I did sleep around when I was younger, but I slept around with a lot of dogs, and no pun intended. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. So who's the best celebrity dog I ever slept with? If you think I'm going to say that on the air, you're absolutely crazy. Great time to give me a call. I want to know about you guys sleeping with your pets, your dog or your cat. Good idea, bad idea? Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Does your dog or cat keep you awake? Do you keep them awake? Give me a call. Let me know. I will send you a fabulous gift for your pet. 866-870-KRLA. 866-870-5752. The way to get through. Let's take a call from Mary. Hey, Mary. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Thank you so much. This is my first time talking, and I know my sister is addicted to the program, and we are addicts. We, at one point, real quick, I have another story to kind of cut to, but we always have had animals. In fact, I'm going through some tough times, and I don't have a cat. It's usually been cats. They come by much easier. I always pick up strays, and I keep thinking somebody's there, and they're not. So maybe their spirit is there. And but we had at one time, my parents were quite elderly, and we were caring for them, my sister and I, or I would say we were actually quite young, and we all had the cycle of a lot of animals in our life at that time. We had cats. It seems like it was cats, and we all had like at least 2 cats on our bed, even my parents, and a couple were downstairs, and a couple wanted our neighbors' cats like to hang out because we'd feed them. They'd stay kind of. They wanted. So you were kind of the St. Francis neighbor. I don't want to run out of time, but I see you have a story about the mountains. What was that about? Well, it's really it's unfortunate that I get addicted to these animals, and I want to take care of a cat in the mountains, but we had to leave. And we were having a lot of stress with the neighbor's noise, and I couldn't get him in the crate. And he was a stray, but he lived under the condos up there. I have somebody feeding him now, but it's just really heartbreaking because he wanted to be with his girlfriend. Yeah, you can't. We try to save as many as we can. Sometimes they can live pretty decent lives, but we try to save as many as we possibly can. So, tell me right now, how many do you have? Well, I have one vicious dog. This is the first stray dog that my sister called you one time on it. He will bite the hand that feeds him. I walked by him the other day because he was looking pretty calm and sweet, little rat terrier. He bit my ankle and he bit my heel. Well, before we blame the dog, I'm assuming this is a rescue dog. Do you know where he came from? Do you know his background? Never, no. Okay, so let's not blame the dog for his behavior. Let's try to change that behavior a little bit. That behavior can be changed. I can't do it right here on the radio because it would take me an hour. But if you go to my YouTube channel, Mary, I do talk about aggressive behavior there, and that may help you resolve it. So, there's no need to live with an aggressive dog. They're not all going to be Rin Tin Tin. They're not all going to be Benji, but that doesn't mean they have to be really aggressive as well. I got to move on, so I'm going to put you on hold, and for your aggressive dog, I am going to send you know what? I'm going to send you a copy of how to get your dog to do what you want. I want you to start doing some basic training with the dog a little bit at a time when the dog's ready and you're ready, and build up the confidence. Generally, aggressive behavior
appears aggressive behavior. What's the cause of it? Usually it's fear. The majority of aggressive behavior is fear, lack of socialization, and very often it's abuse. My own little Willie, who I've now had for 3.5 years, poor little guy, weighs 10 pounds? He was so abused. Boy, would I love to get my hands on the people that had him before. He was so abused by people that even after 3 years, and I kind of know what I'm doing, he's fabulous. He loves me. He loves Denise. He's on my lap, sleeps on my head. But every once in a while, if you kind of look at him the wrong way, he associates, because that's how dogs learn, he associates with something negative from the past. So just amazing, amazing stuff. So anyway, I appreciate the phone call. I appreciate all you do. And I appreciate my listeners. You guys are absolutely amazing. Again, the number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. By the way, coming up a little bit later, something no one else will talk to you about. I kind of started these, I want to say when did I get back? 1971, 72. A dog training party. I know there's a lot of trainers and behaviorists that listen to the show, and thank you guys for doing that because I admire what you do every day. But training a dog is more than teaching a dog how to sit, stay, lie down, and come. A dog training party will help you accomplish that. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but it's really, really an important topic for people. Also on today's show, did you know that catnip, first of all, not all cats respond to catnip. About 1/3 of cats don't have the catnip gene, and so they won't get the buzz from catnip. But now, this is kind of amazing. I didn't know this. Researchers from Northwestern University and Lund University have found that catnip, your cat's favorite recreational drug, is at least as effective as DEET. Now, DEET can be dangerous around them, but they say that catnip can be as effective as DEET in repelling insect pests. So I guess catnip has more than one thing. It gives your cats a buzz and keeps the little buggers away at the same time. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. We're going to take a look at the most popular breeds on social media. Come on, guys, answer the question. Do you sleep with your dogs and cats? I just told you. I slept with David Letterman's dogs. I slept with Al Pacino's dogs. I slept with Lily Tomlin's dogs. I slept with Geraldine Ferraro's dogs. I slept with President's dogs. I slept with a lot of dogs in my life. So I want to know about you guys. Do you sleep with your dogs, and do you find it comforting, or do you find that they keep you awake a lot more than you should be? Give me a call. Let me know. A great gift will be on its way to you. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through to the show. Hey, just before we get back to the call, so Jan, Mary, Lisa, Joe, don't go anywhere. I will get to your calls. But first, listen, I know you really care about your dogs and cats. You're listening to The Pet Show, right? So you love your dogs, you love your cats, you consider them all part of the family. I know you do. That being said, let me tell you, we hear every single day, you can't go to a store, you can't watch a commercial, you can't listen to the radio, you can't go anywhere with someone not hawking hemp seed oil for people as well as hemp seed oil for pets. Now, let me explain something to you. Hemp seed oil is amazing. However, not all hemp seed oil is the same, just like ingredients. There are some ingredients that, if you read them, they look the same, but they're not really the same. One ingredient might be a lot more, have a lot more quality than the other. The only hemp And we are back on the Pet Show on this sunny Saturday for a change. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call if you have a question or a comment about your dog or your cat. This is the only show like this, folks. If your dog is humping, jumping, digging, your cat is scratching, maybe they're confused about the litter box, maybe your rescue dog's a little depressed or anxious. That's what we do here. I will resolve any issues you may be having with your dogs or cats. So it's a great time to call me. And again, as I said earlier, everyone that calls in and gets to talk to me live will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat, even if you just want to answer my question. So here it is again. Should you sleep with your dogs and cats? Come on, guys, admit it. Should you sleep with your dogs and cats? Good idea, bad idea? I'd love to hear from you. 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. That is the way to get through. Let me go to Mary, then we got Jim, then we got Lisa, then we got Joe. Hey, Mary, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren.
How are you today?
I adopted my little girl, Bella, a year ago. And she and my boyfriend got along really well. And all of a sudden, during Christmas, we were sitting on the couch, and he went to put his arm around me, and she jumped at him, trying to bite him.
Oh, you can't stay with this guy. You can't stay. You cannot stay with this guy. You got to get a new boyfriend. This guy's.
And she loved him. She loved for him to.
Yeah, but here's something you said.
But I don't think she's an aggressive dog.
No, but here's something you said to me. Here's something you said. It was around Christmas, right?
Yes.
Do you decorate your house for Christmas?
Yes.
Okay. Are there a lot of other things around for Christmas that aren't normally there?
Yes.
Okay, so therefore, the fact that it happened during Christmas and it's never happened before, has it happened recently after?
But it's been happening. But we notice when she does that, it's like when he's going to hug me when he's leaving, or
okay. So the dog is very possessive over you. So what I would do. So here's what I would do. Number one is don't hug your boyfriend. No, I'm joking with you. Here's what I want you to do. I want your boyfriend to. Does your boyfriend live with you? I'm not making any judgments here.
No.
Is he over often?
Yes.
Okay. Can he come?
And I go over his house.
Can he come into your house without you being there?
Sometimes he does. Yes.
Okay. What I'd like.
And she's okay.
That's my point. I want your boyfriend to start spending more time with the dog away from you. I think the dog is possessive over you. I don't know if it's a rescue or not. Is it?
Yes, that's a rescue a year ago.
So it's only been a year. I don't know the dog's background, but the fact that the dog is fine with your boyfriend when you're not around indicates to me that chances are in the future, or in the past rather, what had happened is possibly that he was either taken away from a person he loved by someone else or abused by a male. So I want your boyfriend to spend more time with the dog than when you're not there. And also want him to walk the dog and feed the dog when you're there. And little by little, as the dog gains more confidence around your boyfriend, I know he's a great guy, that problem will dissipate. What you can't do right now is when he does growl at your boyfriend, if you go to correct him at that point, you're actually reinforcing the fact that he's growling. So what I would do at that point is maybe a leash and a harness come out, your boyfriend takes him for a walk, over and done with, comes back into the house, start from scratch again. That's where you need to be.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, Warren.
Now, Mary, so in other words, you didn't tell me what kind of dog was it? Big dog, small dog?
No, it's Bashan.
Oh, a little Bashan, as we call them, bitchin' frizzies. A little Bashan. So what I'm going to do?
No, it's a Maltese Bashan. So it's not that small.
What would you call Maltese Bashan? I can't say it on the air. Anyway, Mary, don't go in there. I'm going to put you on hold. I am going to send you some Lucy pet food. Start feeding the puppy Lucy pet food, and your dog and your boyfriend will get along. Very common problem, by the way. I have literally been called in to help people out so many times over the years when there was a divorce situation and one started dating again. It's not so easy for our dogs always to make that adjustment. 866-870-KRLA. Let me just share this with you guys. You know, most dogs are very social and and like to be around their guardians. But if you notice that your dog is suddenly isolating himself, that's the key word. If you notice your dog is suddenly, or your cat, isolating himself in an out-of-the-way place, it should raise a red flag. Dogs don't always cry or whine when they're in pain or not feeling well. A dog who is isolating may be sick or hurting. If the behavior lasts for longer than a day, visit the vet to rule out any illness or injury. So when you notice your dog or cat is kind of going off on their own, that could be indicative of some type of problem. Good idea or bad idea to sleep with your pets? Also, let me throw this at you guys. I made a list. If you're watching on YouTube, I made a list. See that? Handwritten list of some of the purebred dogs. You know, in the 80s, purebred dogs were much more popular. I said that earlier. So I made a list of some of the breeds I worked with back in the 70s and 80s. Bouvier de Flanders, Briards, Springer Spaniels were popular, Bull Terriers, Spuds MacKenzie, Chesapeake Bay Retrievers. I trained a lot of Coton de Tuileries, German Short-Hair Pointers, German Wire-Hair Pointers, Old English Sheepdogs. Anyway, do you remember the dog you may have lived with or had in the 60s, in the 70s or 80s? Give me a call. Let me know. I'd love to send you a great gift. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I got to take this one call from Jan. Oh, Jan in Claremont. Jan, listen, here's the deal. I don't want to take your call right now because I know we're going to talk a long time, but I know what you're saying. You grew up with a collie. Oh, let me take you quickly. Jan, are you with me? Jan, are you with me?
What?
Jan, hello, Jan.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I don't have a whole lot of time, and I know you call a lot, so let me just say something real quick. Number one, you say you grew up with a collie, and you can't find one. Well, there are collies at shelters, and there's purebred collie rescue, which you can go to. However, most shelters will tell you, see that dog over there? He's a collie mix. See that dog over there? He's a collie mix. I don't see that many collies anymore. There's got to be one stud collie walking around with a smile on his face all over Southern California. But the bottom line is, Jan, there are collie rescue, pet finders. I think I looked at pet finders, said they had 30 or 40 collies for adoption. So check out pet finders, and I really appreciate your phone call. 866-870-K, and I'm going to donate your prize to a rescue. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. All right, listen, I got to take a break. Before I do that, if you guys are not watching me right now on YouTube, you should be. Look at this mug. You should be on my YouTube channel. You should subscribe. There are tips coming out there every single day. Important tips. Some are short, just a minute. Some are long, 10 minutes. Check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. You can watch me live right now at youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. I'm looking at the back of me. That was my pet pig back there, by the way. That was my rescued pig, Corky. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. By the way, if you go to youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, I'll take some questions there as well. Or if you'd rather give me a call at 866-870-KRLA. You know, let me tell you, 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. I still want to hear from you guys. Should your dog or cat be in bed with you? Should you sleep with your pets or not? Give me a call. Let me know. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. It certainly has been a hard day's night. We are back on the Pet Show on Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call if you have questions or comments about your dogs or cats. Or I love to hear from you. Every time someone calls me about a rescue dog or a rescue cat, it encourages other of my listeners to do the same thing. Maybe it's time to go out and rescue a dog or rescue a cat. So if you recently rescued a dog or cat, I'd love to hear from you and hear about the personality and how you're dealing with it. Great time to give me a call. I still got hugs and kisses to give away. I haven't given away any hugs and kisses today. Lucy Pet Food, Author Suit Gold, copies of my best-selling books, either dog or cat, kitty lickies, T-shirts, flea spray, hemp seed oil. So everyone that calls in and gets to talk to me live will get a great gift for their dog or cat. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Let's go to Lisa in Hawthorne. Hey, Lisa, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hello, thank you for taking my call, Warren.
It's my pleasure.
My question is, believe it or not, none of my dogs ever wanted to sleep with me. I never could understand why I couldn't get them to sleep with me. That's not the question I have.
Well, I know. Wait, maybe do you have the Jimmy leg or the Jimmy arm? Are you?
I'm sorry?
Do you have like a Jimmy leg?
Actually, I never could understand why my dogs didn't want to sleep in the same bed with me. They just didn't. I tried getting them to do it, and they just would get up and they'd rub their butt in my face and then go.
Do you snore?
That's what they were.
Do you snore?
Sorry?
Do you snore?
No, I have no bad habits at all. No bad habits. They just didn't want to sleep with me.
Must be your attitude, Lisa. Anyway, what can I do?
Okay. Now, my question was, listen to this. I just got a consumer report, and what I want to ask you, because you feel all animals should be treated humanely, no matter what they are, whether they're
Absolutely.
chickens. But listen to this. Chickens, they free range, okay? You're going to pay a couple extra dollars for free range eggs, free range chicken if you buy a chicken to cook. But are they really treated humanely if they're free range?
That's a wide open question. I had rescued over my period of time many chickens, and I don't eat chicken, but all my chickens were free range. They would just roam around on my property, eat the bugs, take whatever they would. So, of course, a chicken that's not kept confined in a coop, a chicken that has the opportunity to get fresh air, has a lot of space, not cramped on top of each other, and abused. The abuse of animals in these factory farms are just incredible to begin with. But anyway, of course, free-range chickens, if they are free-range chickens, legitimately, of course, their life is going to be better than if they were confined to some type of abusive situation.
Yes. How do you know for a fact that it's legitimate?
Well, I guess you don't.
Is there USDA?
No, there is USDA, but what I would do is go online, check out the company very, very carefully. Go online, check out the company, that's about the best thing you can do at this point, absolutely. But free range, if you're going to be dealing with chickens, then free range, grass-fed chickens, obviously.
The eggs, the chicken parts themselves, you want to cook it, because you do pay extra for free range.
You pay extra for a lot of things in life. I have to pay extra for high-test gas, but you know what? It makes my car run better. Anyway, the bottom line is, of course, free range is better. What kind of pets do you have, Lisa?
Well, right now I don't have any. I wish I did, but I just feed animals when I can. I help them when I can. I give them treats when I can.
So what
if you want to send whatever you want to send me.
I don't know. I can send you a T-shirt that says "None of my friends walk upright," or I can send you some Lucy Pet Food. You choose.
Let me see.
I feel like Monty Hall here.
The shirt or the let me look. Okay, let me take a look. The shirt or the pet food.
Yeah, the shirt of Lucy Pet.
Let me see. I'll take the pet food.
All right, on its way. I'm putting you on hold. The lovely Suzette, we're going to send you some Lucy Pet Food. I did. I felt like Monty Hall there for a second. I do have a couple of open lines. I guess it's sunny outside, but it's a great time to call me because I got some incredible stuff to give away, including my own hugs and kisses, the Lucy Pet Food, the books. Some of the items, if you're new to the show, that I do give away on a regular basis are worth as much as $35, $45, $50, and even more. And again, I said this earlier in the show, but if you just tuned in, very often the items I give away, and one of the reasons I do this is based on the fact that the item I give you may be part of the resolution to the situation that you may be having. For example, if you have a dog or a cat that's not feeling their best, or maybe I'll send you some of my supplements. Maybe you're not giving them the right food. Maybe I'll send you some Lucy Pet food. So lots of great, or maybe you need a behavior help. I'll send you a copy of my book. So everyone that calls in gets to talk to me live on the air will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. Again, the number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. We'll take a break when we come back, Joe Cynthia, but here's the deal. Let me toss this out at you guys. If you grew up in the 70s, the 80s, what kind of pets did you and your friends have? You know, because purebred dogs were so much more popular back then. Thank God they're not as much anymore. But in terms of purebred dogs, did your friends have a collie, a German shepherd, an old English sheepdog, maybe a chow chow? By the way, chows were popular back then too. I remember training a chow for Milton and Carol Petrie. They were really, really very famous. What's the word I'm looking for? They gave a lot of money to a lot of charities. They owned the Petrie stores, and they had actually brought one of the chows over, and it was actually at that point considered the rarest breed in America. And I brought their chow chow on the Today Show. So, did you have friends have chow chows, Australian shepherds, Australian terriers? What type of purebred dogs did your friends have in the 70s and 80s? Give me a call. I will send you a great gift. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. One of my favorite breeds back then, and I trained an awful lot of them, was a breed called a bearded collie. Excuse me. Amazing breed of dog, bearded collie. Anyway, I prefer you go to the shelters. I prefer you go to the rescues, pick up the strays off the street. But back then, people had purebred dogs. You know, when I was growing up, you either had a German Shepherd and you were a fan of Rin Tin Tin, or you had a collie and you were a fan of Lassie. Those were the choices. Some of my friends had collies. I had a German Shepherd. By the way, my German Shepherd, Smokey, my father bought at Macy's. I'm not making that up. Macy's had a pet store on Long Island where I grew up, although you never know by my accent that I grew up on Long Island. And my father bought Smokey, my first German Shepherd, at Macy's. That was the changed my life forever. Because I lived in an apartment before that, in veterans apartments. So when we had our house and Smokey was adopted and was purchased and Smokey came to live with us, changed my entire life. It changed my entire life. That's when I started to realize, you know, I love people, but not as much as I love animals. Phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Do you sleep with your dogs, number one? And what type of purebred dogs did your friends have in the 70s and 80s? Give me a call, let me know. I will send you a great gift, 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is the Pet Show. And we are back on the Pet Show on Warren Eckstein. We're going to get to you, Joe, Cynthia, and David. I promise, even if it's we're going to break for the top of the hour, just ride with me here. It's only for a couple of minutes, and I'll get to you because I want to share this with everyone. This is something I was doing, and I guess I was called kind of the rogue. There wasn't a whole lot of people training into behavior when I first started, but here's something I did. Dog training party. Why is that important? I want my trainers to listen to behaviorists out there as well. At your home is the best way to accomplish a lot of training and behavior with other people. Here's what I did. I would invite people to arrive at the home of the dog I was working with at approximately 15-minute intervals. I would advise them beforehand how they should behave with the dog before they arrive. I would spend 15 minutes working with one guest at the door until the next one arrives. By the end of the day, the dog usually received plenty of repetitions with a variety of people and really learned what to do, including other things, people with specific problems, jumping and humping, whatever. Dog training parties. Once you have the dog responding properly in an environment that's not too challenging, like his home, then you can start taking him to different environments and working with him there. But literally, having dog training parties, first of all, it's a lot of fun. First of all, people get to know each other. And the bottom line is the socialization your dog will receive at a dog training party is absolutely amazing. So very often you'll hear people call me up and say, Warren, when people come over, the dog's jumping all over them. He won't listen to me. He won't sit. He won't stay. What can I do? Well, if you do it once the right way and the next 10 people that come over, you do the wrong way, the dog's not going to remember the right way you did it. So from a behavior standpoint, continuity is critical. And here's where a dog training party really comes into play. For example, once the dog starts responding in the house, I might have introduced someone coming over with a dog of their own to socialize even more. So if you consider having your dog trained, some people want to send their dog away to be trained. That's up to you. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I'm not thrilled about it. Personally, I prefer the guardians who the dog lives with, the guardians who the dog will be with, the home the dog is going to live with. That's where a good part of the training should be done. Once it's done there, then you can start taking him to other areas, other environments, and responding the same way. Dog training party. Think about doing it, and you don't even have to put down a bridge mix. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. So we're going to break for the top of the hour. I got great gifts for you, John, Cynthia, and David. But here's the bottom line. I got two questions out there. Number one, do you believe it's okay to sleep with your dog or cat? And does sleeping with your dog or cat keep you awake? Or more importantly, does it keep your dog or cat awake? Also, I want to hear from you guys. The majority of my listeners here on the Pet Show will call up and say, I rescued this dog, Warren. I rescued this cat. Bless you for doing that. But if you remember back, and I was training more dogs, 300 to 500 dogs a week I was working with as the head instructor for the YMCA. The bottom line is most of the dogs I was working with back then, other than my own who I adopted and rescued, were specific purebred dogs. I like the Afghan. I like the Chow. I like the Norwich Terrier. I like the Old English Sheepdog. I like the Bedlington Terrier, the Border Collie, the Briard, the Springer Spaniel, the Bull Terrier, Chesapeake Bay Retrievers, Cotonde Tulier, German Shorthair Pointers, German wire hair pointers. What kind of dogs did you and your friends have in the 70s and 80s? Give me a call. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you and send you a great gift. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. When I was younger in the Bronx, almost everyone had either a boxer or a wire-haired fox terrier. Remember the supermodel Cheryl Teagues? Cheryl was a client of mine. Slept with her dog too. Cheryl was a client of mine. She had two wire-haired fox terriers, Martini and Olive. Incredible dogs. Also, sure, a lot of wire-haired fox terriers back then, but who knows? Great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, or check out youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. We're live there now. I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to The Pet Show.
to stumble, but we haven't yet. Your dog is barking, your cat missed the box. Your ferret's chewed up all your favorite socks. He sure knows how to get inside your pet's head. But maybe it's you who needs to be trained instead.
And if you love your pets, I'm assuming you do, you're listening to The Pet Show. Want to find out more about them, how they think, why they behave the way they do? Are you confused about their behavior? Why are they jumping? Why are they humping? Why are they digging? Why does your cat look at the litter box and say, no way? You get the idea. We've been talking together for 42 years. If you have a question or a comment about your dog or cats, they're not using a litter box, they're peeing in the house, you can't take him for a walk because he pulls towards other dogs, that's what we do here on The Pet Show. Help you resolve issues you may be having with your pets and issues your pets may be having with you. And as a side note, everyone that calls in will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat based on the fact that a lot of the items I give away will resolve some of the issues you may be having. Many of the items I give away here, if you're new to the show, are worth as much as $40 or $50. So it's a great time to give me a call. I got a couple of questions I tossed out there. Number one, is it okay to sleep with your dogs and cats? Do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea? And if you remember back to the 70s and 80s, most people had purebred dogs back then. Do you remember the type of dogs you would see on the streets, whatever city or town you lived in? What were the purebred dogs that were really popular back in the 70s and 80s? Give me a call and I will send you a great gift. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. 866-870-5752. Or if you prefer, you can ask a question. I'll try to get some there. You can go to my YouTube channel, which, by the way, if you're not subscribing to the YouTube channel, I don't know why. It's free. Every day I'm sharing pet tips, how to resolve this issue, how to resolve this issue, first pet psychology. Some are shorts, some are long. Check it out. I think you'll really enjoy it. Plus the fact you can see me from years ago doing all the animals on the new Mickey Mouse Club or the Today Show. So check out youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, Eckstein. Check it out. You'll really enjoy it. 866-870-KRLA. That is the phone number here. 866-870-5752. On today's show, no different than every one of the shows I do. Lots of stuff to give away. Lucy Pet Food, Kitty Lickies, Author Suit Gold, Hugs and Kisses, copies of my books. So it's a great time to give me a call. Right now, though, I'm surprised more people aren't talking about sleeping with their pets. I had people call me in my network show saying, Warren, my dog keeps me up. What can I do? And I say, well, stay up. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's get back to the busy phone lines here on The Pet Show. Let's go to Joe in Long Beach. Hey, Joe, welcome to the show.
Warren, thank you much. Aside from my question, I do happen to sleep with my dogs, and I think it's a wonderful thing as long as I don't sleep over them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think I could fall asleep without having a dog in the bed with me or a cat in the bed with me or a chicken or whatever I had in the bed with me. I don't think I could fall asleep. There's just something comforting about the way our pets relax when they're with us, and that comforting kind of goes right from them to me. So I'm glad you feel that way.
Okay. Anyways, to my question, Warren, one of my dogs, every time he goes to do number two, I think it's hurting him because he yelps, every single time. So maybe his finger's too small. I don't know.
No. It could be any number of things. But generally speaking, and it's always a good idea to run this by your vet, but generally speaking, when you notice a dog straining to poop or having some pain when they poop, a lot of that has to do with constipation. So it could be the type of food you're feeding him. Maybe he needs a little bit more, maybe some real pumpkin or some sweet potato. I would run it by your vet. But generally speaking, if a dog is displaying pain, there could be something wrong with the anal area, and that's why you want your vet to check it. But very often, it's that the dog may be constipated, so when they go to eliminate, they're going to cry because it's going to hurt them. So that's probably what's going on. It may mean that you need to change the food a little bit. It may need that you need some supplementation to help the dog digest his food with the prebiotics and probiotics. But I would run it by your vet. But it sounds to me like chances are it's probably. How long ago did it start?
It's been a year, more or less.
Yeah. Then it could very well be the diet. Run that by your vet. I think that's really important. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to send you some Lucy pet food. And I want you to make the transition gradual. Start adding the Lucy pet food and getting rid of the other food a little bit at a time. And the reason I'm sending you the Lucy pet food is because of that prebiotic and probiotic formula. It may make all the difference in the world. But that may not be the cause. That's why I want you to run it by your vet at the same time. How's that, Joe?
Terrific.
Hey, what kind of dog do you have, Joe?
It's a mixed Chihuahua and Terrier.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Arizona.
In beautiful Arizona. I used to live in Sedona. So you grew up in Arizona. Do you remember growing up, did your friends have purebred dogs back then?
Some of them did.
What kind of dogs do you remember from back then?
Bulldogs mainly, and bulldogs and pit bulls.
Yeah, I remember. I remember when the Spuds McKenzie ad was on. Everyone was getting bull terriers. It was just one of those breeds. Anyway, Joe, give that pup a hug and a kiss. Keep sleeping with him. I'm going to put you on hold, and some Lucy pet food on its way to you. And I appreciate that phone call. 866-870-KRLA. That is the phone number. One of the questions: what purebred dogs do you remember when you were growing up? The 80s. Malamute, the Alaskan Malamute, was an incredible breed of dog. Very popular back then. Akitas was so popular in New York City that I believe it was on Madison Avenue in New York City. They opened up a storefront called Akitas of Distinction. And people were buying Akitas for $1,000, kind of what's happening with French bulldogs now. And the problem was a lot of these dogs had all kinds of physical problems, hip dysplasia, stomach problems, or whatever. And so I'm so happy nowadays. I mean, I'm not an abolitionist. I believe that people could have purebred dogs if that's what they want. But for the most part, once you have a dog in your home, you don't care what it is. You fall in love with the inside. You love the inside, not necessarily the outside. However, there are people that feel comfortable with certain breeds, and bless you for doing that. I think it's a great thing, but just make sure you check out rescues and adoptions first, because, here in Southern California, there's Westside German Shepherd Rescue, Orange County German Shepherd Rescue, Coastal German Shepherd Rescue. So let's say you're looking for a German Shepherd. You don't have to buy one. Every day I'm posting beautiful pictures of German Shepherds for adoption. I just posted a picture the other day of 2 incredible white German Shepherds that were up for adoption. In fact, years ago, I remember there was a big move to change the name of white German Shepherds, not call them German Shepherds anymore, but call them American Shepherds. They're German Shepherds. But in Germany years ago, if a dog was born white, they would immediately put it to sleep. It was considered inferior. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's go to David Irvine. Hey, David. Welcome to the show.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you, David. What's up?
Couple points and then a question. First of all, it should be fairly obvious that evolution favors cats who like the smell of antiparasitics like catnip.
Yeah, but it's a genetic thing. There are certain cats that just don't have that gene that responds to the catnip.
No. I get that, but you see how cats have been essentially bred by the nastiness of parasites to favor the smell of natural plants that accidentally or for their own benefit get rid of parasites.
Well, no, it's an interesting point. Mother Nature, I would never argue with Mother Nature, David. I got to move a little bit faster, but I would never argue with Mother Nature. She knows what's going on.
The word litter box has an R, not an H. My cat wakes me up at 4 in the morning. My solution is to go to sleep at 8.
What do you mean litter box? What do you mean litter box doesn't have an H, it has an R? I don't get that.
What?
What do you mean it has an H, not an R, or an R, not an H? Litter.
It's litter box, not litter box.
Are you making fun of the way I sound, David? Are you making fun of the way I sound, David?
Yeah, it's not racist, man. It's culture.
Let me ask you a question. If you had a problem with your cat not using the litter box, and I told you how to resolve it, would you be happy?
Yes.
Then makes no difference how listen. I grew up on Long Island. I was born in the Bronx. I can't get rid of this accent. This is who I am. So sometimes R sounds like H. You should ask my wife, Denise, some of the things I say that people have no understanding of. What would you say, Canada?
Dude,
Oh yeah, that like
what
when
are
I
you
want
about? What are you about? Okay. Okay. Here's my question.
Go ahead.
My half beagle Jack Russell Terrier wakes up maybe once or twice a month in the middle of sleeping, sits up, yowls for 10 or 20 seconds, and then goes back to sleep. And it's not the same as dreaming when he has tics and will sometimes move his legs. But he will do this. And is it some kind of beagle thing? And I'm thinking it's some kind of like pack association. Hey, I'm here. Find me. What does it mean?
Well, first of all, if he's waking up for 10 or 15 seconds in the middle of the night, I would say chances are he's not even having a comfortable dream, or he woke up just with a start. No other reason behind that.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
In
so
other
you
words,
think it's
he's
like
not has nothing to do. Listen, it's a beagle. Okay, beagles. First of all, beagles are. If you believe in the pack theory, beagles are not part of that. Okay, beagles they live by themselves. There's no such thing as a pack of beagles. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, if he was waking up for a longer period of time, maybe he was having a nightmare. Maybe he associated something. Maybe you moved the wrong way. But it sounds to me, David, that the bottom line is simply this: that he woke up with a start, like I do sometimes, and then he goes back to sleep a few seconds later. Nothing to worry about. By the way, David, when was the last time you called?
6 months ago. It's been a while.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm also going to I'm going to donate, David. I love the call, but I'm going to donate your gift to a local rescue or humane organization. I appreciate the phone call. Making fun of him. I don't have an accent. Come on, guys. Do I have an accent? Would you know I was from New York? And Alex, quit making fun of me because I said La Canada instead of La Cañada. When I first came to California, I was on the air doing a commercial for Ralph's. True story. People still remind me of it. And I'm reading this spot on the air for Ralph's, and there was a special on, now I can say it the right way, tortilla chips. But back then I said, go to Ralph's I was still living in New York, go to Ralph's this week, check out the special sale on tortilla chips. Man, did people come down on me. Leave my accent alone. I'm a New Yorker, but I love California. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Great time to give me a call. I don't have an accent. You may think I do, but maybe it's your ears that are just hearing an accent because I obviously don't have one. I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get to Kit in Glendora. We got Stephanie in Granada Hills, Clay in Camarillo, Cynthia in Calabasas. We'll get to all your calls. The phone number, 866-870 KRLA, 866-870-5752. Still coming up on today's show, we're going to talk a little bit more about dog-on-dog separation and the most popular breeds on social media. 866-870-5752. Quick break, then right back to your phone calls. Listen. I love this song. I'm a big John Denver fan. I remember years ago when I was doing the Mickey Mouse Club down in Orlando, Florida, I spent some time in the water with the dolphins. And let me tell you, if you're ever anxious, in the wild, that is, dolphins are just the most amazing calming things around you. Just before we get back to the phones, I'm going to get to all your calls, I promise. Before we do that, though, part of what I was talking about today, is it okay to sleep or not to sleep with your dogs and your pets? But listen carefully. About half of pet guardians polled say they share their bed with their pets, but are they sacrificing a good night's sleep? According to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, almost half of pet owners sleep with their pets. No doubt having your dog or cat curl up with you allows you to feel more connected, but is it really a good idea? Depends on who you ask. They say you may be putting your overall health at risk. It says sleep in dogs and cats are not continuous. They get up to change positions and move around in the night. All that activity leads to something called sleep fragmentation. Sleep fragmentation will pull you out of a deep sleep we're in. You know what? I love colleges. I love universities. You have to come up with the term sleep fragmentation. I think I wake my dogs up more than they wake me up. Bottom line is, so everyone sleeps with a little sleep fragmentation. So the bottom line is, I think it's great to sleep with your dogs. I couldn't sleep without them or cats. But according to the American Academy of Sleep Science, maybe they're spending too much time on the computers and not enough time with dog and cat hair in their bed. Sleeping with your dog or cat, good idea, bad idea? Give me a call. Let me know. I will send you a great gift. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. We are now going to Kit in Glendora. Hey, Kit in Glendora, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hello. Yeah,
Hi.
Warren, you can hear me?
Kit, you have my favorite name in the world because growing up, you know who my hero was? Kit Carson.
Yeah, that's who I refer to. And when people say, where's that come from? But his name was Christopher, just like me.
Oh, was it really? I never knew that. But Kit Carson was his name. I remember. I think it was in. I was in
Frontier Scout.
Yeah, but I also think did he get killed in South Dakota?
I'm sorry?
Didn't he get killed in South Dakota?
May have been. It was more southwest, though, in New Mexico, Arizona.
Yeah. I just remember being in South Dakota. I know I was sitting in someone's chair who got shot.
I think so. Yeah, I heard you lived in Sedona for a while.
I did. I lived in Sedona for 13 years. Loved the view. Great view.
Did you ever go out
nice
to the
place to
cathedral in the
live.
rocks there?
Huh?
Did you ever go out and visit the cathedral in the rocks, the Catholic cathedral?
I lived a half a block away from the cathedral in the rocks. In fact, Denise and I would go over there always lighting candles. So it was actually a half a block away from the cathedral. Just a beautiful, beautiful area, a really nice area. But I got to be
around that now.
Excuse me.
You're saying that there are houses around the cathedral?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. In fact, there's someone, I think he was an ophthalmologist, built a house across from the cathedral that is almost as big as the White House.
Really? Well, we knew the lady, her I can't remember her name now, Marguerite Stouty, who built the cathedral, had it designed back in the 30s and didn't get it done until like 1953 or 4. But we visited in 1950 when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
And guess who was a guest in her house at that time, just near where they were going to build the cathedral?
I have no idea.
He was the cartoonist of Batman.
Really?
And he had easels up there, and he was doing the cartoons for the Chicago Tribune or something, and he was just like a summer guest.
I lived in Sedona. Denise and I lived in Sedona for 13 years, and I love Sedona. Would I go back there to live? No, I'd go back there to visit. I would not go back there to live. I mean, you had a couple of different. It's kind of interesting. It's fragmented. You have the new age people on one side.
Well, anyway, you were talking about sleeping with dogs and dog breeds. Well, I grew up first 3 years in Hollywood in Laughlin Park, but then we moved to Glendora because my dad wanted an orange grove in 1946. And so we had 10 acres of oranges and lemons there in the west side of Glendora, and we raised beagles. We had, a male and a female named Whip and Molly, and they were show dogs. They were, purebred at that time, and we did our best to take them to dog shows.
So you would actually campaign the beagles?
I'm sorry, say again?
Campaign. That's what it's called when you take them to different shows. It's called campaigning the dogs.
Oh, well, not too many shows. I mean, it was 2 or 3 shows every couple of years. It wasn't that many, but I remember, you talking about sleeping with dogs and stuff. We had a good-sized doghouse for Whip and Molly outside we had 10 acres, so we had about 50 yards over to the trees there and the orange trees in a doghouse for them, and I put a light bulb in there and some pictures of other dogs, and I would sleep inside the doghouse.
There you go. There you go. You know, it's
age 5.
Yeah. What kind of dogs do you have now, though?
Well, as I say, I'm a grandfather now, and we have a couple of grandchildren and the family living with us temporarily, and they have a little miniature schnauzer. Otherwise, we don't have a dog.
So you have the grandkids. Well, how old are the grandkids?
Well, the oldest child is 9, a girl, and she chose this dog with her parents, and then there's a little 2-year-old boy also in the house with us.
I bet it was a lot easier to housebreak the Beagles than it is to housebreak the 2-year-old. Anyway, listen, kid, don't go in. I'm going to put you on.
The Beagles were a great breed, but they were not the most intelligent breed.
Oh, no. See, that's not necessarily true. The more difficult the dog is to train, we think they're less intelligent. But just like a person, if you ask me to do something for you and I say I'm not going to do it, that doesn't make me stupid. That makes me smart. That's the way I look at it.
No, I know. Lauren, I'm just suggesting that they followed their noses a lot. And
exactly. That's why you heard me say before they were not real pack. They didn't do this whole pack thing that everyone talks about. They go off.
Yeah,
they're like
they would chase jackrabbits through the orange groves all the time, and we had a couple of tragedies on the road near our house. The car would run into them.
It's kind of like a herd of beagles. Anyway, listen, don't go in there. I'm sending you a T-shirt that says "None of my friends woke up right." 866-870 KRLA, the phone number 866-870-5752. Gosh, where am I going? Let's go to Clay, and then we'll get to everyone. Hey, Clay, welcome to the show.
Clay, yeah, I'm Clay. Warren, thank you. It's nice to talk to you.
My pleasure. What's up?
You have a light accent, by the way. Years ago, I dated a woman from the North Bronx, so you want to hear an accent? That's an accent.
Yeah, you know, every other word is yo from the North Bronx.
Yeah, let's go play basketball. Anyway, I digress. Got a couple of questions for you. By the way,
Oh, did we lose you? Clay, Camarillo. All right, Clay, listen. I'm going to hang up on you. Call me back.
I'm sorry?
Oh, no, I got you. I lost you for a second. So what's your question for me?
Oh, I've got a poodle terrier, years old.
Oh, you're breaking up. Sorry. Listen, you're really breaking up. Anyway, listen, here's what I want you to do, Clay. What I want you to do is I see that your question is your dog is licking the paws. I just did an entire piece on my YouTube channel. It's also on my Facebook page on how to specifically deal with paw licking. There's a lot involved with paw licking, and it can create major problems if you don't deal with it the right way. So if you go to either my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, there's a whole video I just put up there on paw licking, getting a lot of people interested. Or if you prefer, go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk, facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. There's also an entire article there, a video specifically on licking the paws, because it could be allergies, it could be sores, it could be so many things. So check that out. I appreciate the phone call. Sorry I didn't get to talk to you a little bit more, but paw licking, one of the most common questions we get asked. Is it boredom? Is it a physiological problem? Check out either youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. I'm so proud of the video I did on paw licking. I really go into depth there. So check it out, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. While you're there, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Or if you prefer, I got a new Facebook page. You know, my other one was hacked. So here's my new Facebook page. I also shared the video there. It's simply facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. Hey, the phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. Still got lots of amazing stuff to give away. We're going to get to you, Stephanie. We're going to get to you, Cynthia. We're going to get to you, Jackie. Great time to call me. Got plenty of time. I got hugs and kisses to give away. Lucy Pet Food, Kitty Lickies, hemp seed oil, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. What kind of purebred dogs did your friends have in the 70s and 80s? Give me a call. I'll send you a great gift. Or if you want to answer my question about whether it's a good or a bad idea to sleep with your pets, just give me a call right now at 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. A quick break, and then right back to your phone calls. You know, You're not going to hear this music anywhere else but on the Pet Show. I'm telling you, the Beatles sound amazing. John, Paul, Ringo, and George. Well, not really them, but the dogs sound great. Hey, great time to give me a call. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. We're going to get to you, Jackie, Cynthia, and Stephanie, but I do have an open line or two, pretty rare here on the show. I got hugs and kisses to give away, Lucy Pet Food, copies of my books, T-shirts, hemp seed oil, flea spray, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. You know, a lot of you know that part of my specialty was teaching dogs to sniff out incendiary devices and narcotics. So I'm very familiar with a dog's nose. Let me just share this with you. The sensitivity of a dog's nose could make the scent of tobacco smoke or marijuana smoke quite overpowering. There is some evidence to suggest dogs exposed to secondhand smoke tend to suffer more eye infections, allergies, and respiratory issues, including lung cancer. So protecting our pets from it's vital for their well-being. That's important. So if you smoke, that's up to you, but maybe not a good idea around your dogs or your cats. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let me go to Stephanie in Granada Hills. Hey, Stephanie, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Terrific. My question is, I have the most wonderful little Russian blue mix cat that I rescued, and unfortunately she has a liver shunt. And I'm just wondering if that shunt has anything to do with behavior.
You know, it's a little bit out of my lane. It's more of a veterinary issue, but anytime there's a medical issue with a cat or a dog or even a human being, it's bound to have some type of behavioral response to it. So it may not be the exact cause of the behavior, but the fact that it's there may be changing her behavior a little bit. Other than that, what kind of behavior changes have you noticed?
She is just the most wonderful little Russian blue. She owns me, and I let her sleep with me if she wants to. In fact, she doesn't want to. It makes me sad.
Yeah, well, so what does the vet say about the liver? What is the vet suggesting at this point?
Well, she's on a special diet, low protein. I feed her a thing for liver support, which is called Denamarin. I give her Cosequin, which she's being
treated. But my question, Stephanie, is what behavior changes have you noticed since the liver issue?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
What behavior changes have you noticed since the liver problem?
Just biting.
Biting what? Herself?
No, us.
Really? Well, you know, sometimes when a cat or a dog is in pain, sometimes they become a little bit more assertive. I would run this by your vet. Maybe he could change some of the medicine, and that might help a little bit. But
we'll just do the very best for her and keep her as healthy as possible for as long as possible.
Keep her healthy and happy, and that's the way it should be.
Thank you, because we just love her to pieces.
I'm sure you do. It sounds like. Anyway, don't go in there. I'm going to put you on hold. You're a big cat lover. I'm going to send you a copy of my cat book, How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. Cynthia, I'm going to have plenty of time to take your call in Calabasas. Jackie, I'm going to have plenty of time to talk to you. I do have a couple of open lines, and we got plenty of time. So if you have a question or a comment, or just want to answer my question of the day, do your dogs and cats sleep with you? Is it a good idea or a bad idea to have your pets in bed when you go to sleep? That's question number one. And I thought you guys would respond more to this, especially if you grew up maybe in the 70s or the 80s. And you know, back then, people had more purebred dogs than they had generic or blended breeds. So what are some of the breeds maybe your friends had back then? How about Kerry Blue Terriers? How about Airedales? How about long-haired collies, short-haired collies? How about German short-hair pointers? What type of breeds did your friends have when you were growing up? Give me a call. Let me know. I will send you a fabulous gift. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. So I'm going to get to you, Cynthia and Jackie. Just be patient. I will get to you and send you super gifts. But I want to talk about this for a moment. You know, very often people say, Warren, what are some of the most important things to teach our dogs? You know, teaching your dog to stay is essential for their safety and your peace of mind. By the way, Teaching your dog to stay is one of the most important skills to keep your dog safe. Stop to cross the streets if they learn stay. Prevent your dog from running out of the door. Teaches your dog self-control. Encourages calm behavior. And when you do it, though, here's my secret. A lot of people just say to the dog, stay. Sounds like every other word, stay. When you're teaching your dog to stay, this isn't for life, but when you're teaching your dog the stay command, and I've trained over 40,000, here's the secret. Spell out the word in your mind as you're saying it. So if you're telling your dog to stay, listen to me carefully. Stay, S-T-A-Y, stay. Why the long word? You're asking your dog to do something for a long period of time. And let's separate that word from everything else he hears. So once you're practicing, make that long stay command. Once the dog learns the word, you can go back to just saying stay. But stay is actually one of the most important things you can teach your pet. Start off with short stays, then increase the amount of time you're asking your dog to stay a little bit at a time. I remember years ago when I was doing some show dog work, I had to train dogs to stay when their guardians were out of sight. They'd walk behind what's called a blind, and they'd have to stay there for 3 or 4 minutes. Kind of a fascinating. Our dogs and our cats are so incredibly bright. The problem is many people don't let them fulfill their intelligence. All right, let me take another phone call right now. Let's go to Calabasas and Cynthia. Hey, Cynthia, welcome to the show.
Hey, hi. How you doing?
I am doing great. What's up?
So, first of all, I have a golden retriever. Her name is Chanel. But talking about, and we'll get to her, but I had one cat, and his name was Putty. Putty lived to be 23.
God bless you.
But Putty slept on my head. And it was interesting. It was like he liked the warmth. I'd never had a cat. Is that unusual?
Well, no. Let's go back to when a kitten's first born, they sleep with their mother and their litter mates, right?
Right.
They all have fur, right?
Right.
You have fur on your head, right?
Right.
That's why your cat likes to sleep on your head.
Yeah, and I would be afraid. I mean, I have to say that it wasn't great for my sleep because I was afraid to move my head. But, we don't want to disturb our pets, right?
Yeah, listen, you're absolutely right, Cynthia. Listen, I have Molly and Willie. Molly weighs maybe 12 pounds. Willie weighs maybe 9 or 10 pounds. And I've adopted them, over 3.5 years ago. I have yet to sleep with both arms and legs on my California king-size bed in that 3.5. And you know what? And then I wake up in the morning and I'm stiff, but I look at them and they're like laying there and stretching and rolling, but they had a good night's sleep, and that's more important to me.
Right. That's the main thing. And then, so now I have a golden retriever. She just turned 4. Her name is Chanel, and she's so sweet. She's very rambunctious, as a golden retriever with a lot of energy. But once she gets into bed, she can sleep until, God knows, 10 in the morning if I got up late. But so she starts off sleeping next to me, which is so wonderful, and I love it. But then within like an hour, short time.
Cynthia, let me do this. I don't want to rush you. Let me put you on hold. I got to take a break. Alex said if I don't take a break, he's going to yell at me. So I'm going to put you on hold. We'll come back to you. Then we also have Jackie. We have Dennis in Santa Clarita. We have Lisa. We'll get to your calls. La Cañada, Lisa. I said it right. La Cañada. You can't make fun of me of saying La Canada anymore. Quick break, then right back to your phone calls. Let me get back to the phones. I don't want to run out of time. Let's go to my friend Cynthia in Calabasas. Hey, Cynthia, you still with me?
Hey there.
Okay, so tell me more about your golden.
So my golden, she's a big girl. She's 65 pounds, so she takes up a lot of the bed. I have a big king-size bed. But so she starts off at night. I love her to sleep with me. My pets have always slept with me. So she starts off the evening, or when I get into bed, she starts off, she snuggles with me. But inevitably, every night, after a short while, she moves towards the end of the bed with her bottom towards me and like facing out. Is that like a protective thing, or what is it?
Well, it could be protective. It could be just that it's a cooler spot on the bed. My two guys, Molly and Willie, they sleep under the covers. So I go to sleep at night, and Willie is under the covers with me. And then I wake up in the morning, and Willie's at the other end of the bed, and Molly's under the covers with me. Somehow they switch. They're like stealth. I don't hear them, but they switch in the middle of the night. It could be being protective. If, in fact, she's going to the head of the bed, when I say the head of the bed where your feet are, and she has a butt towards you and head at that end, it could be that she's being a little protective, or if not protective, just being a little curious at this point, as Goldens can be. I think it's great that you're sleeping with her. And you know what? If she doesn't want to sleep on top of you, that's okay for you, and it's okay for her.
I know, but I keep it cold, and it's like she warms me. So I miss that. But
well, you can't have a dog just to warm you up. Get a blanket, lady. Come on. Anyway,
I love her.
I'm sure you do. I'll give her a hug and a kiss. Don't go in. I'm going to put you on hold. The Golden Retriever. Let's keep her as happy and healthy as we can. You, my friend, are getting a jar, probably the most expensive thing I give away, of my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplement treat. It's on its way to you, and I appreciate that phone call. Let me see who's up next here. We're going to go to Jackie, Studio City. Hey, Jackie, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing super.
I adopted a Pomeranian puppy when he was about 3.5 months old, and he's pretty normal during the daylight hours. He's friendly, gets along with everybody, loves people, loves other animals. But as the sun goes down, it seems, he becomes Cujo. He beats up his toys. If we make a wrong move with our foot, he attacks our foot.
Attacking in what way? Biting it, breaking skin, or just playing with it?
I'm sorry?
Biting, breaking skin, or just playing with your foot?
Not playing. Actually attacking.
Okay.
He has broken skin on my hands. He just seems to have this bipolar personality.
That's not bipolar. Just like there are certain people that are better at night, and there are certain people that are better during the day. So here's my recommendation. In the evening, before you guys settle in to watch Yellowstone or whatever you're watching, what I want you to do is give him a good aerobics class at that point. Tire him out a little bit. At the same time, give him 5 minutes of just some of his basic training to establish positive authority. Because what happens when he starts showing that aggressive behavior towards you, you're going to yell, no, 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 stop it. That's not going to resolve it. It's only going to make it worse. So what I want you to do is, like, what time in the evening, maybe 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever time it is, give him a good pet aerobics class at that point. Put him on a leash for 5 minutes, establish some positive authority. That's the way to resolve it. If you're constantly trying to correct him, you're only going to make the aggression worse. I'm telling you, this is not a big problem, but it's something, if you're consistent with right now, will dissipate in a matter of weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Don't go anywhere, Jackie. Excuse me. I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to send you a copy of How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want also. 866-870-KRLA. Let me take a break. When we come back, Dennis, Lisa, Mitch will try to get you, but if for some reason I can't, you all know I do my National Canadian show right after this. I'll give you that number, and you'll be my first caller on that show. But right now, a quick break, and I want you to listen carefully, because if you love your dogs and cats, you need to listen up right now. It's to stay And we are back on the Pet Show. Just a reminder to everyone, the Pet Show's on every Saturday, as we have been for the last 42 years. Every Saturday here on KRLA. The Pet Show starts at 11 a.m. in the morning. We run from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you have questions or comments, we'll take them right here. You also get a lot of great information on my website, thepetshow.com. And I know I'm talking a lot about the YouTube channel because I haven't really done anything on it till the last year or so. But I'm telling you, if you love the Pet Show, if you like the way I respond to your questions, check out the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. And here's why. There's literally tips added there almost every single day. Some of the tips are longer than others. There's also the 1-minute shorts. These are tips I did in 1 minute to help you understand your dogs and cats better. So check out, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. If you love animals, you need to be there. It's some amazing information. Also some great videos from the past as well. So check out youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. All right, here's the deal. I could take your call, Dennis. I could take your call, Lisa. And I could take your call, Mitch. But if I do, I'd have to rush you. And I don't want to do that. So I just want to remind everyone that when I get off the air here in 3 minutes, I start my national and Canadian show. And it's the same type of show as this. I give away the same type of gifts as I give away here. Some of the topics I'll be talking about are some of the same topics we talked about here. So if I didn't get to answer your question or you've been driving around, write this number down. You can start calling it at 1 o'clock. I will answer your questions there. We have 2 hours to go through that. Write this number down, 877-725-8255. Start calling at 1 o'clock. 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. And don't forget to check out my new Facebook page. I got hacked there. Thousands and thousands got lost. You can join me now on my new Facebook page, facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. Facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk, or check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. So we found out today a lot of people sleep with their dogs. I expected more people that would be sleeping with their dogs or their cats. I just know that, I guess since I've been 4 years old, I don't think other than my time in the military, even in the military, I would be sleeping with a bunch of dogs as well. But bottom line is, I don't think I could fall asleep if I didn't have a dog or cat near me. Thank you to Alex. Thank you to Suzette. Again, the number for the network show, you can start calling right now, 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. I'm Warren Eckstein, and thank you for listening to The Pet Show.